Hi everybody, Tasha here from Pixie Mommy's Reborns. Welcome back. And to everybody new, hello and welcome. I have Oscar here with me today. I'm just gonna wind down my own self and talk to you all. It's the morning. I shouldn't say wind down because it's early in the morning, but I wanted to get back to you all right away after my hubby's surgery yesterday, because I did put actually the video posted yesterday that I had filmed the night before. My husband going in for a hip replacement surgery. So, for all of you that are with me, and to those of you that are new, this is Oscar. He's a full-bodied silicone baby, and he's the Dwayne Awake #2 by Claire Taylor. So if you'd like to see more of Oscar and all the dolls in my collection, in my nursery, feel free to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. To those of you that have been with me, I definitely wanted to update you all. I also wanted to talk about like I don't know if there's like a certain point we come to like this revelation or what, or it's just, I don't know. But these dolls, just as a collector, I can say that they really do have a therapeutic value in a way, and I'm going to explain that a little bit for me, in just kind of what I experienced last night. And for the most part, I've always considered myself a collector that just loves dolls, and, really appreciates the art, really enjoys and has fun with the role playing and buying clothing and things like that. So that's like, I guess, as when we kind of classify ourselves as types of collectors or whatever, that's what I would consider myself. And of course now, it's been about 6 months, I think, I've been painting Reborns myself. I've gotten into the art. So okay, so hubby's surgery went very well. So pleased, and it looks like he's coming home today. Amazingly, right? Yesterday was the biggest cluster cluster of a day as far as on like our end, but it's okay because he's fine. The surgery went well. That's what's really important. But I pretty sure, due to the pandemic and the recent let go of healthcare workers that were not vaccinated by a certain point, I think it was last week, I think they're very short-handed and things are very chaotic. So the surgical coordinators did not exactly get things correct. So we were told that we had to go on Sunday morning to a time that they appointed, my husband and to any family members that needed to be COVID tested to be able to get into the hospital to see him. And we were told that he could have one person with him. So my daughter and I decided we would both go get tested so that either of us were able, to go in and, to see him. Went down, had that test on Sunday. Then we were also told he had to be dropped off at check-in at noon yesterday, and that the surgery was scheduled for 3:50 p.m. and that nobody could be with him beforehand. You could be there to like check in with the paperwork, but once they took him back, that nobody could be there. And we were told somebody could be there and they would call one of us in to recovery when they, after they get them settled in recovery and, start waking them up. This is everything that we were told, okay? So now I have my 19-year-old daughter that's still living at home that, is, helping everything on this end with me, and she drives and all of that. I have my back issues. The hospital's at least 40 to 45 minutes away. So, she's very helpful in driving and stuff, because the longer drives are really hard on my back, and it's easier for me to, lay back with a pillow or whatever. And then we also have my 13-year-old son, who's has some special needs. So he's not like, he can't just come home with a key and be home by himself or anything like that. So I have a child that, got to get off the bus or keep home from school, or figure out what the heck we were going to do. So we had all that. So what was decided was yesterday that my daughter would drive him out and to the hospital for noon to check in, and that she would come back here, and we would just get ready and whatever, and then when my son got off the bus at 3, we would head out there. The surgery was scheduled to start at 3:50, and I wanted to be waiting outside I wanted to be there when he was, being operated on. They said they did have a waiting room for family, but it was like downstairs by the lobby, like, just assume being in the parking lot. But anyway, so the story goes. He gets dropped off, and we find out they were wrong. Number one, we didn't have to go to their specific facility to get COVID tested. It could have been anywhere. And number 2, Sunday was too long ago. It had to be within the past 72 hours. So now it's afternoon. We had to make a mad rush to get COVID tested. Ran up to our local walk-in clinic. They were filled to capacity with a 7-hour wait, and not even taking any new people to sign in at that point. But we explained the situation. And now, as we're headed over there, we get a call that they got the operation time wrong, and that it was scheduled for 1:30. So now we're thinking he's getting wheeled in at 1:30, and here we are. We can't even get in. We don't even know if we're going to get tested. Luckily, the surgeon was in a knee surgery and running late. So at that point, they hadn't taken him in yet. And thank God they were kind enough over at the local walk-in when, I explained the situation. They went and spoke to a supervisor, and, they made an exception for us to expedite, let us and sign in and expedite us and get the test done, which was very, very, very kind of them. And I'm so very grateful for that. So we got the test, came back here, but now we're really in a rush, because I thought I was going to have time to, sleep in the morning, clean in the morning, and then shower and go. So I'm not even like showered. It was just like, oh my gosh. So I'm packing up. Plus now I'm packing up knowing that we're going to be, out with the kid, my son and stuff in the truck, not close to home. So, snacks, phone chargers, this, that, stuff to bring up to my husband possibly, just stuff. All right, anyway, so we get out there. Now we're starting to hit some rush hour traffic, because, by the time my son got off, and it was like 3:10 that he gets off the bus. I think we headed out at like 3:30, something like that. And I lost touch with my husband, who was texting me at 2:48, because he said at like 2:42 or something, they're getting ready to take me in. His last text was at 2:48, and he stopped answering, so I knew that they had taken him in. Is that right? I think that was right. Pretty sure that was right. Anyhow, yeah. I'm just like, all right. So finally, it's like, I forget what time, 5 something. I didn't know anything. I called. They were nice enough to transfer me over to the operating room. The surgeon got on the phone with me and said um, they were finishing up. They were getting ready to close up and then take x-rays and stuff, and that he was going to call me in about a half hour. So that was great. And he did call me in probably like 45 minutes an hour and said the surgery went great. Well, um, he's got a new hip. And he said he expected him to go home tomorrow, which would now be today. And I said, wow, really? Wow, that's amazing. And he said, well, he's been hobbling around, making it around on home on a broken hip, which he was like shocked that they even sent him away out of the emergency room that day. You could see he was like perturbed. But he was like, I think he's gonna be feeling a whole lot better than he did yesterday, because of the situation. So, and sure now, okay, so after that, they would not allow anybody into recovery. They don't allow anybody until they get up to a room. So now me and the kids have been camped out in the car. We went and got some KFC. We got Burger King. We were just in the car. And by the time they got him upstairs and in a room, it was 8:30. They weren't going to let me up because they're like, well, just tell the family to come back at visiting hours tomorrow. And I was like, I've been camped out. I have not seen my husband since he woke up from surgery. I am not leaving the premises of this hospital until I see him, know he's okay, know his pain is being managed, that everything's right. Like, I'm not leaving any family member like that after surgery till the next day without having seen it. It's just not happening. And then when they called up, the nurses up there were very nice, and they said, yeah, his wife can come up for a few minutes. So, and by that time, he woke up. I did speak to him when he finally got his phone back in recovery. First time I spoke to him, he was in a lot of pain. He was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. This is, like he was still coming, The second time I talked to him, the physical therapist had already been in there in the recovery, made him sit up and stuff, which of course is horrible pain when, but we all know you got to push through that. And then the second time I spoke to him, he sounded so much better. And he wanted coffee, he wanted something to eat. So I was able to bring him up coffee and something to eat, and he looked really good. By the time I got up there, he looked so much better than he did the day before, because, he was done. He was walking all around on a broken hip for 3 weeks. He was just, like, that's unbelievable. So, he just looked good last night. He looked great. And he sounds great this morning. I'm so thrilled. So it was a crazy day yesterday. I was exhausted. I actually told my channel members, like, oh, how, would you guys like me if I popped in live? Because I'm going to probably just be sitting out there waiting and stressing and thinking. There was no time to think because it was just really kind of running from one thing to the next. And even when we were out there waiting in the truck, just between, like letting my mom know what was going on, speaking to them inside, tending to my son, it just wasn't, I was lucky I had time to running the KFC to use the bathroom. It was crazy. We didn't get back here until like probably around 11 p.m. And, you know, I still had to feed all my animals, get my son off to bed. It was a day. It was a day. I'm going to put Oscar in his Snuggly. He had these last year, these Raccoon PJs. I love them. They are Baboli, 1 month size. Oh, so sweet. And they have the bum flap, and they even have the little acorn. And they say it says Forest Friends on the back, and then the front has a fox and a raccoon. I love this so much. So when all was said and done, my son was sleeping, and everything was settled. Well, you know, the animals were fed. I walked up to Oscar and just picked him up. I just wanted to pick him up for a second. And I put him, you know, picked him up and had him on my shoulder. The day just melted away. The fear of the unknown, the anxiety, the scared that we weren't going to get the test and that I wasn't going to get in to see him, the worry about, you know, it'll be for another video, but, you know, there's other, like, I should guess, like, health complications that I don't talk about on social media, like the intimate details of my husband's health, or my own for that matter. Like, I let you guys know when I'm like, I had the dental surgery and I have that coming up, and I have the back surgery, and I will let you know, like, keep you updated of what's going on, tell you stories and stuff like that. But I'm not diving into personal details of my medical history or my husband's. So let's just say that it wasn't just as cut and dry as, oh yeah, he's just going in for a hip replacement, just, you know, it really wasn't routine. Let me just say that. You know, due to other complications, other things. So you just never know what other people really have going on. You just don't. You know, we all know one another here in the hobby, and either watching on YouTube or, you know, just seeing one another on social media. But we see of what each other, what we want to share is the bottom line. And, you know, us on YouTube, what? You see us for a half an hour, a few times a week. It's you know, you just don't know the struggles that people are really going through or really facing. Anyhow, it was just melted me to, I'm gonna get his pajamas off camera because this video is getting long and I don't want it to be so long because I just put up a 30-minute video yesterday. So I just want to say that I had him like this, and it made me be able to just relax for the night. And Oscar, I mean, not only the weight of the baby, feeling like a baby, but the sentiment that Oscar has to me. You know, we get attached to objects, and I'm going to talk about in another, you know, video in the near future, maybe not the next video, but sometime in the near future, about some things that I thought about, and to explain a little bit better how there's a healthy way that people can get attached to and use objects as a form of relieving stress and managing stress and, just keeping happy, chemistry in your brain, and how deep it really goes. I really, really want to dive into it because I've picked up the babies before when I was stressed, and I know it lowers my blood pressure and things, and I've talked about that, but I really want to devote a whole video to diving into it and give you some other examples, that are not dolls, of how inanimate objects psychologically can be helpful to people and therapeutic to people. So stick around for that. And in addition, in the description below, you can always find a link to follow me on Instagram. I take lots of pictures. You can see all the babies in my collection. And my channel has a membership. I am probably going to continue this conversation on, film some more, additional for my channel members, because it's a little bit more behind the scenes, and I'm sharing my whole journey in painting in there. We talk about the art in there, my what's went wrong, what's went right as I'm going along, sharing questions and answers and all that sort of thing inside the membership. Just either in the comments or talking on a video or chatting live. So there's always a link to membership down below in the description, or you can click the blue join button next to subscribe. It'll just tell you a little bit more about that and how much it is. And so if you like to support my channel and come on behind the scenes, we'd love to have you there. And that's it. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead. It's like I feel like this is so long, but wanted to update you all, and just happy to see you all today, and till next time, God bless.